You clicked on this video because you want to start a business and A, you either have no idea where to start, or B, you've started and you need that extra push, those top tips for success and all of the ideas on how to market, launch and perfect your product so that you can actually fulfill your big girl CEO dreams. And that is exactly what I'm going to be breaking down in this video. First, we're going to be going through perfecting your product in case you haven't started already and you just don't even know what to do. In chapter 2, we're going to go through all of the nitty gritty of business logistics and actually making your business official. Chapter 3 is mastering the CEO mentality, something that a lot of people don't talk about because they're too busy giving you the practical steps on how to set up a business. But once you master your mind, I'm telling you, everything else is going to flow. Chapter 4 is marketing and brand positioning. This is so essential. You could have the best product in the world, but if you don't know how to talk about it and how to promote it, the business is gonna fall flat. And then finally, we have chapter number 5, which is launching. You need to have an entire strategy. You can't just go live with your website. I learned that the hard way. I am now officially on my 3rd business and I've come so far with the amount of experience and lessons I've gained just from failing and starting again, which, let me tell you, is such a necessary part of this process. So please, I want you to take that pressure off you right now. Throw it away, sit back, relax, maybe get out some notes for this video because you are going to walk away from it so much more motivated, so much more educated, so much more inspired and ready to fulfill all of your greatest dreams, because I want that for you. We are not about to let a lack of confidence or knowledge stop us from doing what we want to do. Before we jump into chapter 1 of the video, I want to quickly mention Squarespace because they are the easiest platform to use when it comes to launching your business. So if you have no idea where to start, let me recommend Squarespace for you. They've also kindly sponsored this video, so thank you so much, Squarespace. Now, Squarespace is a really unique business platform because now they have so much AI built within that it's made branding, marketing, launching your business, creating a website easier than ever. Their cutting-edge AI technology, design intelligence, allows anyone to build a beautiful website that is completely personalized and tailored to their unique needs so that they can craft a bespoke digital identity to use across one's entire online presence. So if you know social media is really important when it comes to launching a brand, maybe building a personal founder brand alongside your product, this is the thing you need to just figure out all of the steps. Then we have Squarespace's Blueprint AI, which is a fully AI-powered website builder. All you have to do is just answer a few basic questions, inputting the right information about your brand, and then their interactive design system will transform that basic information about your brand into an elevated online presence with curated, premium quality content automatically added that all matches your profile and your aesthetic. We love that. But if you're just someone who's just starting to enter the business space, you don't want to keep inventory, you don't really want to sell a physical product, then Squarespace also makes that so easy. You can literally sell your content on their platform. You can earn recurring revenue by just choosing to put your content behind a paywall on their website. All you have to do is choose whether it's going to be a subscription fee or a one-time fee, and you're all set and ready to go. You guys can head to squarespace.com to start your free trial. I actually challenge you to go and start a free trial right now. It's completely free. You've literally got nothing to lose. Go ahead, start exploring all of their tools. I promise you're not going to regret it. And if you decide to go through with it and you actually are ready to launch your website on Squarespace, then you can use my unique link, squarespace.com/tamkaur, and that will get you 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain, which is exactly what you need in the starting stages. Okay, chapter number 1, perfecting the product. Before we even get into the website, the launching the business, making it legal, professional, what are you selling? Whether it's a product, whether it's content, whether it's a service, we need to perfect it, but most importantly, we need to validate it. It is all fun and games thinking that I like makeup, so I'm gonna sell makeup, or I'm really passionate about clothing, so I'm gonna start this brand. Not good enough. Do you know how many thousands of people wake up every single day with the idea? I'm sorry, that was the reality check you needed. I don't want you to be one of those people that spends thousands on inventory and then only gets to sell a few because you didn't go through the strategy that all of the successful CEOs are doing. And that strategy is the following. You need to answer these questions to ensure that you have the right product to launch in and invest in. One is there a market for it? I think you should start with at least 3 or 4 different business ideas and do your research. Google Trends is a really good tool to see how many people are actually searching for your product. I also recommend doing a Facebook business search on that product to see how many people have been searching for it, how many groups or posts there are about that product. Something that actually gave me this knowledge was an amazing book. It's called $1 Million Weekend. If you were going to read any business book, I would honestly recommend you to just read that. Step number 2, now if you know that there's a market for it, I want you to do research on the competitors in the market, and I want you to find a gap. The gap doesn't need to be huge. You don't need to invent some cutting edge technology. It could literally be being in that same market, but offering a cheaper product, or a product that is more efficient or works better or has this competitive advantage that none of these other brands are taking advantage of. Maybe you're going to take this product and you're going to market it to a completely new audience. Step number 3 is to get real people's opinion on this product to figure out what their pain points are. Now, this is the golden rule when it comes to setting up a business. The entire point of your product or service or content that you're offering is to solve people's problems. That is the only way that you're going to be able to actually sell so much of it. So I recommend putting up a poll on your Instagram, going into Facebook groups. There are so many Facebook groups that are targeted to women in their 20s or teenage boys, whatever your target demographic is. Start asking your friend and then friends of friends. I recommend going into forums and threads online like Quora, like Reddit. Type in your business idea and then see what everybody is saying about it to see how you can identify that gap in the market, how you can fill it, and then how you can elevate yours to meet that need. Step number 4 is to start thinking for the future and how your business is going to grow. You might now have the perfect product, there's a market for it, there's a gap that you've identified and you're passionate about it. It's great. However, how are you going to be able to expand this product offering in the future? I made the mistake in my first business of just being tunnel vision on one kind of jewelry aesthetic and never thinking about anything else. And it's going to be really difficult for your business to grow if you just launch with one product. Let's say it's a notebook, or let's say it's kind of workout equipment. How else can you expand to reach bigger audiences and reach that bigger revenue? So a good way to do this is to again look at your competitors, research product ideas, and you can even ask AI to help you expand your product offering by putting in your ideas and your information about your business. And with this, you really need to consider where the current market is at, what consumer preferences are in your target demographic, and if there are any trends that are going on in the market right now, and what the longevity of this product could be. Is it future proof, or could it easily be replaced by somebody doing something on social media or AI, for example? Finally, step number 5 is to test and refine. I did not do this for the first 2 businesses I had, and it was the worst mistake I possibly could have done. And to be fair, it's so easy for everybody to fall into this mistake. And essentially that is, you've done all the research, you've perfected the product, maybe you've designed it, maybe you've got your first sample, you're really excited about it, you love it, okay? It perfectly meets your needs. According to your research, it will meet everybody else's needs. It is not enough for you to just love your product. I said it, and this is really hard because it's going to be your baby and it's your vision and you're so passionate about it. But at the end of the day, you are trying to target hundreds of thousands of people, if not millions, okay? So we need to make sure that it fits a wide array of needs and fits people who might live a totally different lifestyle to you or have completely different opinions to you. So the next step you need to do is, if you've designed this product online, for example, or if you have your sample now, pass it around to a few of your friends, friends of friends, family, allow them to have a look at it, tell them to give you their most brutal and honest feedback. It's not going to be fun, okay? But let me tell you, it's going to save you so much in business costs, in your time, in your effort, in good versus bad reviews. By doing this, you are going to get so much feedback that you wouldn't have even have known of because you were too close in your business, and you kind of need that outsider perspective. Chapter number 2, logistics. Now that you've got your perfect product or service ready, it's time to get down to all of the business basics to make sure that it is smoothly running, it's all legal and official and professional. Number 1 is to register your business. Now, if you're in the UK, you want to go to Companies House and you want to do this, and you want to register as either a sole trader or a limited company, whatever suits you. If you're based anywhere else, I recommend literally just going to Google and typing in how to register business in whatever country you're in. Also in this process, obviously you're also choosing your business name. Now it's important to have a list of a few different business name options, because then you're going to have to do a quick search to make sure that nobody's trademarked that name already and that there are no other businesses going by that name. This is super important. I also think just having several business name ideas is really great, because again, you can go back to the last step, which is asking around to different people, thinking, is this memorable? Is it easy to pronounce? Is it easy to spell? Because we really got to think about your customer's perspective in the end. Step number 2 is to get your money sorted. You need to have a business account. Let me tell you, I left this so last minute in my career and it was a horrible process, but it's so easily avoided. This is such an easy step. All you have to do is set up a new bank account and make it a business account, okay? So just get a business card. It could be with your current bank, it could be with a different one. I personally use a Revolut business card, and then you're gonna use that card to pay for all of your business transactions. So your supplier costs, your manufacturing costs, any photo shoot costs, paying your employees, etc. It's so important to keep everything separate so it's all clean, okay? You cannot charge your daily matcha or a quick run to go buy some new clothes or a gym set on your business card. You keep that all on your personal day-to-day expenses, and then you have your business card, and then everything's nice and clear and clean. It's also really important to download an app like Dext or QuickBooks so that you can track all of your business expenses, your receipts. Just stay on top of it in the beginning, let me tell you, because you're gonna save yourself a big mess down the line, and your entire process of running a business is gonna be 10 times easier if you just keep this in mind in the beginning. And then finally, we have step number 3, which is to set up all of the systems of all of the little things that you're probably not thinking about. It's super easy to get sucked into, I love this product and I can't wait for people to buy it and I can't wait to have that extra stream of revenue and see all of the positive reviews and have my Instagram following growing. But let's think about customer service real quick. How are you gonna organize all of your notes and your marketing plans? How are you gonna keep in communication and keep on top of all of your files with your team? How are all of your packages gonna be shipped? Are you gonna do it by hand? Are you gonna hire a few employees to do it for you, maybe in an office, maybe in your home? Are you gonna do it in a warehouse? That's personally what I have done for my now 3rd business, Self-Obsessed Journal, if you guys don't know. But my first 2 businesses, I did that all at home on my own, and it was a lot of work. And I think it's great when you're starting out, you know, it's really low costs, but with that, it's always great at this stage to have a backup plan of, if my business went viral overnight and then I have 5,000 orders, I can't pack them on my own. Am I gonna be able to have an assistant on hand or somebody to help me? Maybe your family is gonna help. Or am I gonna have a warehouse that I know I can then go into business with at that stage? Another system that's really important to have is email marketing. Email marketing is such a powerful tool, and a lot of the founders of my favorite brands, whether it be fashion, beauty, literally any brand and industry, have said that email marketing was such a peak point of their business and brought in so much more revenue. So that's really important to think about. There are so many different platforms out there. MailChimp, Klaviyo. Klaviyo is one that I know everybody uses. For that reason, I also use it. Email marketing is kind of in a range of its own. You don't need to worry about it right now, but what you do need to worry about is the email flow that's gonna happen once one of your customers sets up an order. It's gonna look very bad in your business if they place an order and they get no communication until they actually receive that order. So it would be really good if once they place that order, they immediately get an order confirmation email and then a shipping confirmation email with a tracking number ideally, and then after they've received the product, 2 weeks later down the line, they get a customer feedback email. And then that way you're also benefiting your business, because with your product development and improving as a business and a service, you can keep growing and keep building that close relationship with your customers. Oh, and then last thing for this chapter, since we're on the topic of systems, it's really important to know which apps and softwares and platforms to use to just make your entire life easier. So I've mentioned Klaviyo and MailChimp as options for your email marketing. Canva is literally going to be your best friend. When I tell you, I literally do everything on there. It's got all of the tools you need. I know some people like to use Adobe, for example. Then it's also really important to stay organized. You are going to have notes from this video, from books that you're going to read, from other research you do on businesses, and you need to have all of this in a very nice space that you can just look at every day and know where your information is at. I personally use Notion, a lot of people do, but another great platform to use is Mondays, or it's monday.com. That's a really good platform to just stay on track with your tasks, the due dates, the status of them, the priority of them, and if you have people on your team or an assistant, that's also a really great collaborative tool. And then we have your day-to-day systems. It's so important to have a weekly schedule. Even in my social media career, this is so important to me. So I look at Monday to Friday. I do work on weekends, and if you do, you can include that as well. But Monday to Friday are the priority, and then I assign a different area of my business per each day. This is actually a productivity hack in itself, because if you do tasks that use the same part of your brain, you are going to be in a better flow state, and you're going to be way more productive than trying to film content in the morning and then do writing in the afternoon and then do marketing and then do finances in the evening. It's just too much. So how about set up Monday for your admin day. Maybe you're going to look at emails. Maybe you're going to really look at your customer service strategy. You're going to start planning out social media posts. Look at Tuesdays as your filming and your content creation day, where you're thinking about marketing campaigns, where you're being consistent on your social media's Instagram and Facebook page. Maybe Wednesdays is your finance day, where you're looking at all of your analytics and you're thinking of new strategies. You are catching up with all of your receipts and all of your little accounting things to stay on top of it. And then maybe Thursdays and Fridays are for product development. Maybe it's working on your website. Maybe it's designing the next product. Maybe it's getting in samples from the manufacturer and just developing and growing the business as a whole. Having a game plan like that and knowing how your weeks are structured are going to save you so much time. It's going to give you structure. It's going to give you clarity, and it's going to help you fulfill all of your goals way more efficiently and way faster. Whew, that was not a cute or fun topic to talk about or even think about, but finally we're going to go on to the next chapter, which is all about CEO mentality, my favorite thing to talk about. These are the mindset shifts, the habits, and the reminders you need to level up into the business owner I know you are going to thrive as being. Step number one, of course, is to embrace the CEO mindset, even if your business hasn't even launched yet. Even if you're still in the product development stage and nobody even knows that you're about to launch this, I need you to identity shift real quick. You are not a student anymore. You are not the girl who is doing this as a side hustle alongside her 9-to-5 job. No, you are a 6-figure, 7-figure business owner. You are experienced, you know what you're doing, you're passionate about your product, you are solving a problem, a pain point, you are changing lives maybe with the service that you are offering. You get up out of bed every single day and you enjoy what you're doing. I want you to visualize all of this, because if there's one thing setting up a business is going to do, it's going to fill you with self-doubt and imposter syndrome. That is simply just a part of the journey. So don't feel disheartened if you are there and you feel a little bit insecure or worried or you're doubting your skill set. Everyone's been there. I was stuck there for many months. But what we can do and what we can control is choosing how many positive thoughts we want to incorporate into our day alongside those natural emotions that are going to come up. Step number 2 is done is better than perfect. There is no award for being a perfectionist. And there are so many businesses out there that put out a product and then 3 years down the line, they look back at it and they cringe because their skill sets have grown and they know they could do so much better. But even with that cringe, or even thinking like, oh, I shouldn't have put out that product, or I made mistakes, or maybe the customers didn't think it was the best thing, the amount of knowledge and feedback you're gonna gain from just putting it out there, knowing you tried your best, is so invaluable. There is only so much that research can give you when you actually step into the business game, when you are documenting the products you are making on social media, when you are building up that relationship with your customers through your email marketing campaigns, when you are talking about your product, when you're selling it, when you're telling people about it, when you are giving them samples to give you feedback. That is truly where all of the growth and the expertise happens. Everybody can give you top tips and research, but nobody knows your business like you do. And so you need to get your product out there so that you can get the most personalized advice and experience and lessons and wisdom on your product. Step number 3 is watch how you're talking to yourself. You get so obsessed with where you're at now and you're like, oh, I need to cut costs and I can't really do that yet, but I'm just a small business and like, please support me. And I love that, I do, but everything you think and everything you speak out into the universe is just gonna keep coming back to you. Yes, you might actually realistically be a small business right now, but where are we trying to go? We're trying to go hit the £1 million mark. We're trying to get 6 figures. So it's really important to not get so fixated on that. How your business could go viral tonight. Okay, you could be in an entirely different space next month because one customer loved your product and they told 10 different people about it, and then they told 10 different people about it, and now you have an entire new customer base that are talking about you and hyping you up, and all of a sudden you're not so small anymore, and you need to be prepared for that. So not only is it not identifying, especially with a place you don't even want to be, but it's always preparing for the next step ahead. If my business went viral next week, have I even gone online and thought about how I'm going to be able to hire my assistant, or how I'm going to be able to build out my team, what services I'm going to use to do that? Have I done research on how I would bring them into my team, what an actual employment contract looks like? These are all things you need to prepare for. And I think just looking at those things and researching them as you're going along is also a great tool of manifestation. Chapter number 4, marketing and brand positioning. Now you've got the mindset, you know the logistics, you've perfected the product. This is where all of the magic happens. If you just stopped in the last 3 stages, you might have a great business, but nobody's really watching it. So this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna start with step number 1, building your brand identity. This goes so much further than just having a brand name, some fonts, some colors, and a logo. You need to understand what the experience and the meaning and the purpose of your brand is. How does it sound? How does it feel like? How does it look? What does it mean to your target audience? What associations does it have? And this is where it's really important to get in the mind of your ideal customer. This is such a game changer. Not only is it thinking, what age group are they in? What gender are they? What's a day in their life look like? What are they doing? Is she getting matcha in the morning? Is she a business owner? Is he or she a student? Are they younger? Are they older? Are they married? Do they have children? What are their pain points? What do they need help with? What are they looking for on a daily basis? What do they follow on social media? What are their favorite brands? How can you fit your brand into those associations that they are looking for? Once you start to understand that, you can pick a vibe for your brand that attracts your customer. And that vibe is really important because it goes back to brand identity and being cohesive across all channels you use. It all decides what your Instagram feed is going to look like, what your ads on Facebook are going to look like, what your imagery on your website is going to look like, and it connects them all together so that just by first glance, every customer should know exactly what your brand means, what it feels like, what it looks like, and if that's attractive enough, and because it will match them and attract them because you've already understood them, they will immediately want to look more into your business. And with this, it's also really important to consider not only what is my brand, but what is not your brand. What do you want to avoid? What associations do you not want people to have? How would you want your customers to describe your business? How would you want people to talk about it in general? Here, I would really recommend building out a brand kit. I've built out a few brand kits before and I've always done them on Canva. And this is where you can really start to think about, yes, the colors and the logo and the typography, but also the messaging behind your brand. Build out a mood board for what vibe you want your brand to have. Linking on from knowing your audience and really understanding them and what they like and what their likes and dislikes are, this will really play into what your marketing campaign is. If you are trying to target Gen Z, you are going to be primarily creating content on TikTok and putting that out there and deciding what tone it's going to be. Is it going to be more professional? Is it going to be casual? Is it going to be like FaceTime on a friend? Is it going to factor in memes to your content? It's going to influence the way that you write your captions. It's going to influence whether you decide to use slang in your overall messaging, what emojis you decide to use, everything. And linking on to social media, it's also really important to consider your personal branding. People buy from people, not from brands. People tend to engage more with face-to-face content. If somebody sees something that looks too much like an advertisement on social media, they are going to click right past it. That's why some of the most successful content with such high conversion rates on social media is just often a regular person just talking about an experience and telling a story rather than being like, buy this, this is this much. Nobody likes being sold to. However, I will definitely watch an ad all the way till the end if I don't think I'm being sold to. And it's a really smart way of doing things. This is why it's so important to understand the vibe behind your brand and the messaging and the values that you have, because you can then focus on that and then just briefly mention your product at the end or just slightly throughout so that people are more engaged in the value they're getting from that video rather than, oh, you're just trying to sell me something. And so with personal branding, it would be really useful to also have a personal Instagram or LinkedIn presence where you can just talk about your experience as a founder. People really relate to that. They find it aspirational and they might just decide to follow you rather than your product page. But just by seeing your behind the scenes and your journey, it will help them resonate with you and with your brand and then maybe make them want to buy. Alternatively, if you're not quite in your influencer era, you don't want to do that, you absolutely do not have to. There are a lot of successful faceless brands out there, so you can do that. Or alternatively, you can just decide to have one business Instagram page, for example, and just do a few little day in the lives here and there so that people actually get to know you a little bit more. With social media marketing, it's so important to engage with your audience and also just build a community. And this is why it's important that not every single one of your posts that you put out or videos you put out is all about the product and all about selling. You need to try and provide value and give them something that they want, whether it's education or entertainment or inspiration. A really good example of this is a lot of people who are social media marketers or managers online don't post every single TikTok video of buy my services or I'm doing this offer now. Instead, they decide to analyze recent marketing campaigns, or they say, if I was rebranding Gigi Hadid, for example, this is what I do. Or if I was rebranding Rhode Cosmetics, this is the feed I would create. It's something that's entertaining and interesting for people. And for people who are in that field, who want ideas or inspiration, they are going to watch till the end. And that way, that founder, that social media marketer gets to build up their brand presence, gets to get out to more people, and then people know you for your expertise and then probably want to work with you because of that. Finally, we have chapter number 5, the launch. Like I said at the beginning of this video, there is a whole strategy for this, like a pre-launch, an actual launch, and then a post-launch strategy. There's so much to it, and this is something I avoided so much in my past business experience, but I just want to save you right now. Before you launch, you need to know all of this. This is when you are finally going to bring your baby out into the world for people to buy, for people to experience. It's an exciting time. So pre-launch, this is where you get people ready. You start priming them for this product or service you're putting out. This is also where you can start bringing in that feedback, those opinions, to even get your future customers to help you in the product development service to build the best thing for them, and they know they've contributed to it. One mistake I made, and a lot of people do, is keeping it a secret, because you're like, oh, I'm working on something, and you'll just see, I'll just pop off with, we're launched now, and website live. But the thing is, nobody even knew you were doing that. Nobody was ready for it. And then you launch and it's like, what even is this about? What does this even mean? What is this brand? What vibe is it giving? You need to start preparing that beforehand, and that way you could have a really successful launch day. You could sell out on your first day if you've been creating content beforehand. I've seen so many brands and they've got me hooked. Like, I'm following them and I'm waiting for them to launch because I'm so engaged in the story they're telling and their entire journey, where they're like behind the scenes of opening London's next smoothie bar, and they are taking you through, these are the challenges I've had, and this is the research, and these are the spaces I'm looking at to open the store, and these are the recipes I'm thinking of, and you get excited and you look at that behind the scenes and you feel connected to that person and that company, and then you're ready to be there on launch day. So you could do countdowns on social media, you can do loads of polls and Q&As to get that feedback from your audience. You should be posting videos of the journey and just showing people the behind the scenes of actually building the business, whether that be the highs or the lows. On your Instagram, you could actually start posting pictures that are more like a mood board of your brand if you don't actually have product pictures to post, so that people can start to get that vibe of what is coming and understand it more for when the product is actually available to buy. Another really great tip here is to have a wait list. If you know when your launch date is, get all of those emails ready. It's going to save you when it comes to email marketing. You're going to just have a list of people that you can actually target and promote and market to, which is really going to help your business. Another thing you need to do pre-launch is to schedule your content, get a few photo shoots booked in, get that content ready and edited, schedule it on Instagram. You can schedule content now on TikTok, on your desktop, even on LinkedIn as well. I believe you can do it the same on Facebook, so that when you're launching, you're consistent, you're ready, you've batched all of that stuff beforehand. Then when it comes to launch day, right before you launch, you need to double check everything. Your product imagery, make sure that the website is working, double check all of the descriptions, the messaging. Go to your website, place an order, and just check the entire flow, that somebody can go onto your website, they can place an order, they get the email, and the entire flow is working correctly. Maybe if you're a bigger brand or you've been in the business, you want to host a launch day event, or if you're just starting out, you want to offer a launch day deal, like 10% off. And again, on launch day, be sure to just document that if you really want to build your personal brand. Bring your customers along in the getting your first sale. Make sure you're engaging with them, responding to those comments. And then we have your post-launch strategy. This is kind of where we go back to that brand positioning and that marketing strategy. Be sure that you know what's going to happen in the weeks following that launch to keep people engaged. For example, having those email flows. If somebody went to check out but they didn't actually purchase, are they going to get an email that kind of prompts them to just go back and have a look at it again? Make sure that you have all of that content scheduled that's still going out, that not only promotes your product but also educates people on it, so they know what your brand is about. Why should they buy from it? Why is it better than all of the competition out there? How is it going to benefit them? People are selfish, okay? People don't care about supporting your brand. That's the harsh truth. People want to know how it's going to benefit them, how it's going to make their life easier, how it's going to help them become the version of themselves they've always wanted to be. You need to put out as much information as you can to keep educating people on that, because the gap between somebody knowing about your business and buying your business is filling the information gap. The more information they have about your business, the more likely they are going to buy from it. And then post-launch, you need to start thinking about your product offerings. You need to be looking at your analytics and understanding where are people buying from, what are those customer patterns, what is your next strategy for a different type of ad, whether it be Google ads or like being sponsored SEO wise on Google search. Have you started researching paid ads on social media and how you're going to work around that? And now that you've had your first few customers that have bought your product, are you sending them emails or sending them DMs or messages asking them for feedback and their opinions, maybe to just fill out a quick survey that you can easily make for free on Google Forms that will give you all of the feedback you need for your next product launch. And there you go, you did it. If you are still here watching right now, go you. I can clearly see how much of an investment you are putting into yourself, that you sat through this long video, maybe you made notes, but I really hope that this motivated you and inspired you. I'm so proud of you. This is just part one. If you guys want more parts, then let me know, comment down below, and I'll definitely look into that. I just wanted to collate all of the basic information that I've learnt so far in having 3 businesses. I am still learning and growing every single day. I think I have such a long way to go, and when I know that I've made more progress and I've met more of my business goals, I'll definitely come back and make a part 2 that has more advanced knowledge and how to succeed as a business, maybe going more into the manufacturing stage or even deeper on marketing. If you found this video helpful, give it a like and subscribe, because I post videos every single Friday. You can also go down below in the description. I have a self-help newsletter. I've written a book. I've got a self-growth journal that's actually my business, and it's going amazingly, and all of the teachings I just told you about I've poured into that business, so definitely go and check it out if you want some inspo. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'm so proud of you. I'm so excited for this next stage in your journey. Definitely keep me updated by commenting down below, or you can DM me on Instagram, because I'd love to see what you guys are up to. I appreciate you, and I'll see you same time next week for a brand new video. Bye. Mwah.